All right, guys, so we're in a trade. We're just aiming for 2%. This buy set objective, and then of course these relative. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Let's close this real quick. All right, and then these relative equal highs up here, but we're just aiming a little bit before that to um, get us up 2% profit. But if not, then of course we're probably going to just aim for this right here. This clear buy set objective right here. So I'm not gonna be greedy. I was originally gonna aim for 2%, but I told myself just aim for your regular buy set objective and not be greedy. Because again, I realized majority of the time, stick to your original target. Of course you can aim for more. Of course you can be like, oh, I want to reach this profit objective or reach this, that. But just stick to what you originally had set out. And this entry model was different. I didn't use my IPG entry model because there is no IPG here. I used a 5-minute change in the state of delivery, waited for that to be confirmed, market retraced, pushed up higher, entered, went break even once we reached these highs. Because again, it's more range bound. So once the market did reach it, I did go break even. We're up around like, what is that, 20 points. So we're up 20 points. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm not gonna, try to be in this market, especially with the 1 hour SIBI. Get stopped at break even, perfectly fine. That's my one trade for today, as you can see. We can go over it real quick. It's just there was really no big deal to this trade. Honestly, I'm kind of glad we got stopped out. Um, today's Monday. We do have NFP, and then we also were inside of this 1 hour SIBI. So this is kind of the main confluence as to why I was a little bit more skeptical and didn't want to go break even. Of course, I could have went break even once we closed above those highs if we were super confident on the draw and then on this trade. But in all due reality, I wasn't really as confident. And then if we go on the 1 hour, we had that 1 hour SIBI. We had that 4 hour. That 1 hour candle range low. The 4 hour candle range low is forming. We also were tapped into a 4 hour PD array, which is the inversion. The internal array. I was about to say the inversion for like the internal array. But again, we are trading more inside of I don't know why I keep doing that. Let's just put this up here. We are trading more inside of a premium. So this is, I clicked the wrong one. So we are trading more inside of a premium. This would have been the best trade for the OTE, and then eventually, the market pushing up higher. But here, the market is just not really, we're not even near equilibrium. If I'm being truly honest, the market is clearly in a state of imbalance right now, and we are trading inside of a premium, taking longs inside of a premium. Of course, it can work out. Clearly, we can, market can move up, but it's not going to give us the speed we want to see. The best trade again would have been whenever we are just retracing back up into here. Whenever we're retracing back up into here, to then eventually push us up higher, to then eventually reach that draw liquidity to move up higher. But opening 9:30, the market just opened up there, moving up higher, and oh my gosh. Sometimes I do feel silly for moving stop loss to break even, but we can watch this trade together, honestly. Will it meet my draw on liquidity? The question is how? The trade idea was correct. The market pushed up, retraced, we entered off of that at 9:45, market pushing up after forming the change in the state of delivery. Reached our break even point, this range high. Because again, we're unable to break above this range until like right now, honestly, because these candles really didn't close above it until now. And yeah, we're just failing to push up higher. We're stuck inside of a range. And whenever we're range bound trading, especially on the lower time frames, it's really, really hard for me to hold my trades because again, I get stopped at break even. They just go up and down, go up and down. You face drawdown, maybe you face a little bit of profit, then you get hit break even. It's kind of what happened today. But if we go from the higher time frame, right here, we're just super, 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 really bullish. So it's pretty naive to take shorts right now, especially with how bullish we are. And then of course we're holding the 4 hour fair value gap. If we were going to hold the 1 hour SIBI here, I would have wanted to see the 15-minute give us displacement lower, but it failed to do that, and this candle is what failed to give us that. If we were going to move down lower, this candle right here would have broke past this low right here, and we would have continued lower to then eventually retrace to then move down lower and reach further draws on liquidity, and probably reach back into that 4 hour PD array, breach below these lows, and then continue to the downside, but that never happened. So my bias shifted. Like we had SMT with YM at these lows, and then eventually I started to shift my bias. I was like, all right, okay, if we're moving up higher, I want to see a change in the state of delivery, form that 15-minute candle range low sweep, and we did do that, to then eventually give us that change in state, to then reach higher prices, and eventually once we reach above here, this high right here, I went break even, and that was pretty much really more of the story today. And the question is, like, are we gonna move higher? Are we gonna move lower? I don't know. That's the thing. I do want to see higher prices, but we're so overextended to the point where we can move down lower, and it would be nice to see the market move down lower. But yeah, it's not worth being in this trade, honestly. You can see the market is just moving back and forth. It's really just gyrating back and forth, really building up, liquidity, because it's consolidating to breed the expansion. That's kind of the market profile we're in. We're inside of this higher time frame draw on liquidity, and then this one too. We're inside of this range right here. We're unable to break above or below the range. We're currently stuck in between it, but we are clearly favoring more bullish prices since we're trading above the premium. Above equilibrium here. And then I am kind of cold, as you can see. So this was another confluence. Volume profile, of course. Tick data on TradingView. Don't roast me. I know. But we were using this, and once we saw the market, starting to trade above value area high, we marked out the next range, which was this previous range, and we used the the point of control. We want to see the point of control act as a form of what? Not resistance, but support to push us up higher. It's kind of what we want to see here. This right here. And then this. We want to see that. We want to see the market act as a support magnet to then push us up higher and then reach the value area high, but the market clearly did not do that. We were trading near the value area high here multiple times, unable to break past it. So again, we're using it more as a resistance. Same thing with the value area low. We are just unable to break past it, and this was before 9:30, and then eventually now we're still failing to break above it. So that's pretty much really it. I'm gonna call it a day here. Walk away, clear my charts. Actually, I gotta journal first before I clean them. So yeah, and then here is the combine I bought last week. We're down 2%. I did hit break even Thursday. I did trade Thursday, but I stopped after that. We hit break even. We took a short. It was a good trade, honestly. We were aiming for 1,500, and then today we hit for. Oh, we had fees, and then, oh my gosh, minus 144. I didn't know we had fees. Damn. Fees and commissions. I thought we just had commissions, but we got fees now. So, yeah, that was really it. Yeah, we lost twice in a row, back to back. Again, just following our rules, just being disciplined. We hit a break even, that's fine. Being disciplined, being able to walk away after an L, and bouncing back. Honestly, like some days where the market is just unfavorable. Like on a Monday, no news Monday, and then eventually we have Tuesday tomorrow. I won't be able to trade. Same thing with Thursday, but I'll be back Wednesday and then Friday to trade. So again, one of those days, maybe we find something really, really nice, and then we take a nice A+ setup, and then we're back in business. Maybe we're up 2%. We're able to risk a little bit more. The goal is to continue to build the discipline. I'll be able to risk more on combines once I take it slow past these, and then eventually get to the payout, this and that. But again, we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on the internal, growing as a person, meditating, journaling, understanding how I feel. And today's one of those days where, we hit break even, gotta walk away, be comfortable, come back, review it, see what we could have done better. And it's simple as that, bro. Don't try to set too much pressure, too much expectation on yourself. Just show up every single day, put in the work, and then work on yourself after that. So yeah, peace.